Welcome everyone. So today we are coming with a very interesting video and it is very useful for your board exams as well as for the competitive exams like G, NEET, etc. So without taking much time, we are directly entering to the topic. You can see in the board that acid strength of organic compounds, right? Very often you counter questions like some organic compounds are given and they ask for the order of acidic strength. So we must know on the basis of which factors we can determine which organic compound will be more acidic, which will be less acidic. Okay. So before going to the hardcore organic chemistry, first we have to learn on what basis we compare two organic compounds, and the derivation of this equation, this will be done in chemical equilibrium, ionic equilibrium in that chapter, class 11. Okay, I am not going to the detailed derivation of that chapter. So if any acid is given, it dissociates like that. This acid gives you H plus and a corresponding anion. This anion is known as conjugate base. So if you remove H plus from any acid, the species you get is known as conjugate base. And this equilibrium has an equilibrium constant like this. This Ka is also known as acid dissociation constant. Acid dissociation constant is nothing but the equilibrium constant for the dissociation equilibrium of the acid. And the pH of the solution, pH of this acid solution is given by this equation, pH equals to half into pKa minus log C, where C is the concentration of the acid that you have taken. So if we fix the concentration, suppose I have two acids, one is A, another is B. So I fix the concentration of both of them as C mole per liter. So the one which give you greater concentration of H plus will be the stronger acid. Greater concentration of H plus means less value of pH, and pH is related with pKa value like this, where pKa is simply minus log Ka. So from this equation it is clear, if we fix this C value, greater the value of pKa, greater will be pH, and hence weaker will be the acid. Because less the value of pH, stronger is the acid, greater the value of pH, weaker is the acid. So from here this discussion, it is clear that if the pKa value is very small, that means pH value is very small for a fixed concentration of acid, and smaller the value of pKa, hence stronger will be the acid. So we will actually compare the acids in terms of their pKa value for a fixed under a fixed temperature. Okay, so at a fixed temperature like room temperature, we will compare the pKa value. The acid which is giving you smaller value of pKa, that will be the stronger acid. Another important point we have to remember, that the stability of this conjugate base. If this conjugate base is highly stable, then the equilibrium will try to shift to the right side according to Le Chatelier's principle, because the right side is the most stable form. So if this conjugate base is highly stable, the equilibrium shift to the right side. As a result, you get high concentration of H plus and A minus. That means greater value of Ka, that means less value of pKa, and ultimately stronger acid. So two lines we have to remember: smaller the value of pKa, stronger is the acid, and greater the stability of the conjugate base, stronger is the acid. So on the basis of these two factors, we will try to compare the organic compounds and try to determine which one will be the stronger, which one will be the weaker. Now here I have taken a general formula of carboxylic acid. Okay, RCOOH. This COOH group is the carboxyl group, and this is the substituent. If it is H, it is formic acid. If it is methyl, it is acetic acid, like that. Now if this R group, if this one is an electron withdrawing group, EWG, it can withdraw electron by many of the organic mechanisms, like by minus R effect, minus I effect, hyperconjugation, whatever electronic factors are there. If somehow this R group is an electron withdrawing group, if it is electron withdrawing group, it will enhance the polarity of this OH bond. This is the main important factor for the acidity of carboxylic acid. If somehow you can increase the polarity of this OH bond, this hydrogen can be easily eliminated as H plus. The dissociation of this carboxylic acid becomes very feasible if this R group is an electron withdrawing group. In other words, you can say if this R group is an electron withdrawing group, it can stabilize by its electron withdrawing power this negative charge. Right? That means the conjugate base becomes highly stable, so the acid becomes acidic. Now, the electron withdrawing power, it depends on state of hybridization also. Just after some time I will give you an example and it will be clear. So there can be many factors, we will see them one by one, but the general thing is if this R group has some electron withdrawing power, then it can increase the acidity of this hydrogen. And reversely, you can say if it is an electron donating group, it will decrease the polarity of the OH group. As a result, acid strength will decrease. So the polarity of this OH bond is very important. Now here I am taking 3 different carboxylic acids and all of them contains 3 carbon. Okay. So clearly you can see here that the carbon attached to the carboxyl group in this compound is sp hybridized because it is making a triple bond. In this compound, the carbon that is attached to carboxyl group is an sp2 hybridized carbon, and in this third compound, the carbon attached to the carboxyl carbon is sp3 hybridized. sp3 hybridized. Okay. Now we know that percentage S character, it is 50% for sp, 33.33% for sp2 and 25% for sp3. We have discussed it in our previous videos for hybridization. And greater the S character, greater will be the electronegativity. Greater electronegativity means greater power to withdraw the bonding pairs of electron. So electronegativity order is sp hybridized carbon greater than sp2 greater than sp3. That is why their electron withdrawing ability, that is also in the order sp hybridized greater than sp2 greater than sp3. So sp carbon being the most electron withdrawing, we know greater the electron withdrawing power of the R group, stronger is the acid. So you can see the pKa value is only 1.84. It is the strongest among these 3. Least the value, stronger is the acid. So because of this sp hybridization, this carboxylic acid becomes the strongest one among these 3. Then comes this one 4.25, and then comes this sp3 hybridized carbon and it becomes 4.88. So you can see hybridization of the carbon that is attached to the carboxyl group can affect the acidic strength. I will give you one more example. Now here I have taken 3 simple hydrocarbons. Okay, instead of carboxylic acids I have taken 3 hydrocarbons and very well known acetylene, ethylene and ethane. So from the pKa values like 25, 37, 48, it is very clear that all of them are very weak acid, because we know when the pKa value exceeds 15, is greater than 15, they are treated as very weak acid. Now we are comparing the relative strength. Okay, so relatively among these 3, acetylene is the most acidic. Here we are comparing the polarity of the CH bond, the encircled H. We are trying to understand how easily this encircled H can be liberated as H plus. Okay, so here this carbon is sp hybridized, most electronegative, and that's why this bond has the maximum polarity among these 3. So it is the strongest acid among these 3. As a whole it is a weak acid, but among these 3, if we compare the relative strength, this is the most acidic among these 3 because of this sp hybridization, the most electronegative character, 50% S character. Then comes the ethylene, it is sp2 hybridized, a little bit less, so it is pK 37, a little bit weaker acid compared to acetylene. And then comes your ethane, see pKa 48, so very weak acid because the percentage S character is only 25% here. So from these 2 examples, it is clear that hybridization of the alpha carbon means the carbon attached to the carboxyl carbon, that is very important. Hybridization can affect the strength of the acid as far as organic molecules are concerned. Now our next point is how inductive effect can regulate the strength of acid. Okay, so first we take 2 very familiar example. One is your formic acid one is your formic acid, and the another one is the acetic acid. Two most well-known carboxylic acid. Okay, so here the experimentally obtained pKa value is equals to 3.77, and here the pKa value experimentally obtained is equals to 4.76. So clearly formic acid is much stronger acid than the acetic acid, right? Because here you can see this methyl group, it has a plus I effect, right? That means it is pushing the electron density, making this OH bond less polar. As a result, on going from formic acid to acetic acid, the acid strength decreases significantly. That is, the pKa value increases significantly. So it is the plus I effect that actually reduces the acid strength on going from formic acid to acetic acid. Similarly, if we can put some minus I effect, electron withdrawing effect, we can show that the acidic strength will increase. However, one thing you have to remember, that if we increase the chain length of this part, this R group, then you already know inductive effect, it diminishes with increasing distance, right? So after this methyl, this H is replaced by methyl here. So after this methyl, if you introduce some other groups also, then the effect will not be that much prominent. Here it is very prominent effect for one methyl group, as it is introduced at the alpha position, just attached to the carboxyl carbon. So a significant increase in the pKa value, that is significant decrease in the acidic strength. But after this CH3, if you introduce some more molecules, some more groups which also shows plus I effect, the effect will not be that much prominent. One more thing, if we continuously increasing some alkyl groups on the left hand side of this, then what happens, some steric effect also comes into operation, and that steric effect also regulate the acidic strength. So as a result, if you are continuously increasing alkyl group on the left hand side, there will not be much prominent change in the pKa value, and there will be irregularity also, because after this not only the inductive effect but steric effect also comes into the picture, and from the experimental pKa value the picture will be clear. I am just giving you some examples. So here we have the examples: formic acid, acetic acid, then your propanoic acid, isopropyl group, then we have tertiary butyl group, here we have N-propyl group, N-butyl group. So as I said that after this CH3, if you introduce some more group, there will not be any significant difference. See, 4.76, 4.88, close to each other, 4.86, 5.05, 4.82, 4.86, so they are very close to each other, not a very significant difference like 3.77 and 4.76, difference of 1, right? So for these acids, if you want to explain, you have to consider both the inductive effect as well as the steric effect. So these irregularities are obtained, but from this to this, it is clearly the main operating factor is the inductive effect of this methyl group, that is plus I effect, and hence a significant decrease in the acidic strength, that is a significant increase in the pKa value. Okay. Now see these three examples: formic acid, benzoic acid and acetic acid, and the experimental order of acidic strength is formic acid greater than benzoic acid greater than acetic acid. Okay, that is experimentally obtained. So how can we explain it? In formic acid, this hydrogen, it neither exerts any electron donating effect nor any electron withdrawing effect. So no donating effect as well as no withdrawing effect, right? When we take benzoic acid, then there is resonance operating, right? You all know resonance or conjugation. And how is it operating? It is operating like this. See, so by you can say it either minus R effect of COOH group or plus R effect of the phenyl group. Phenyl is pushing the electron density by resonance, so it is plus R effect with respect to phenyl group, and if you see the COOH group, it is withdrawing the electron density from the ring by resonance effect, so it is minus R effect with respect to the carboxyl group. So whatever you call, the thing is the electron density is going from the ring towards the carboxyl group. That means this group is reducing this polarity of this OH group because it is reducing the electron deficiency of the carbon. So any group which actually donates electron to this carboxyl carbon makes this bond less polar. As a result, their acidic strength decreases, and that is revealed in their pKa value also. It increases from 3.77 to 4.20. That means a significant decrease in the acidic strength. But the thing is, benzoic acid is stronger than acetic acid. So in acetic acid also there is plus I effect. It is also pushing electron density, and we know R effect is always stronger than I effect. So it was expected that acetic acid should be stronger than benzoic acid because it is pushing more electron density than this, but the result is different. Why? Because you have to consider all the factors those are operating simultaneously. Here this carbon is sp2 hybridized, whereas this one sp3 hybridized, right? So we already know that sp2 carbon is much more electronegative than sp3. So here, since it is sp2, it is withdrawing electron density also by minus I effect, it is donating by plus R effect. So there is a net result of electron donation. The net result is somehow less than the plus I effect of the methyl group. In other way also you can think, if you take the conjugate base of this benzoic acid, this is the conjugate base, that is benzoate, and the conjugate base of acetic acid is this one, right? Now this one is resonance stabilized, and this one is also resonance stabilized, but here the resonance is restricted in this carboxyl group only. But here the ring can participate in resonance with this pi bond, right? So the resonance stability of the conjugate base of benzoic acid is far greater than the resonance stability of the conjugate base of acetic acid, and we know greater the stability of conjugate base, stronger is the acid. So benzoate is more stable than acetate, hence benzoic acid is stronger than acetic acid. So the final result is formic acid stronger than benzoic acid, stronger than acetic acid. Now in these examples you will see how the negative inductive effect, that is the minus I effect, can control the acidic strength. So all these red groups I have put it at the alpha position are electron withdrawing, they show minus I effect. So here is our acetic acid, the standard acid, giving you pKa 4.76. Now see, I have put a very strong electron withdrawing group, NO2, nitro group. It is exerting its minus I effect. That means as a result this whole CH2NO2 group becoming electron withdrawing. And see what is the change in the pKa value, 4.76 to 1.68. So very significant decrease in the pKa value, that is the acidic strength is increased by many times. Okay. In the next example, it is trimethylamine group. Okay, this nitrogen is plus because it is making 4 bonds, and it is also a highly electron withdrawing group by minus I effect. See, the pKa value also give you the same observation, that the acidic strength is increased by manifold. Similarly, if you put cyanide, another electron withdrawing group, then you can put COOC2H5 ester group. It is your COCH3 group, right? OCH3 group, that is your methoxy group, hydroxyl group. So all these groups are electron withdrawing. They are withdrawing the electron density by minus I effect, and as a result what happens, the acidic strength of the acid increases by manifold. So inductive effect play a very important role in the determination of acidic strength for especially aliphatic carboxylic acid, and these differences can be explained in terms of their power of inductive effect. If you know the series, how the groups are arranged according to their strength of minus I effect, then you can clearly say whether nitro will be more acidic or NCH3 will be more acidic. You just go through the GOC, that is general organic chemistry. There we will find under the inductive effect different groups are arranged according to their strength of minus I effect. Now here can you see the variation of acidic strength with different halogen atoms. We know halogens are highly electronegative, that means they will exert minus I effect, and clearly the strength will be greater than acetic acid, and that is true also observed experimentally that 2.57, 2.86, 2.90, 3.16, all these four acids are stronger than acetic acid. And again we know that the order of electronegativity is fluorine greater than chlorine greater than bromine greater than iodine. So greater the inductive power, greater the electron withdrawing power, stronger will be the acid. So the fluoroacetic acid is the most strong, the strongest one, 2.57. Then comes the chloroacetic acid, 2.86. Then comes the bromoacetic acid, 2.90, and then comes the iodoacetic acid, that is 3.16. Now in the next example, I am actually varying the number of halogen atoms. Okay, so here I have taken only one chlorine that is exerting its minus I effect, giving you pKa 2.86. That is stronger than the acetic acid. Then here at the alpha position we have two chlorine. So both the chlorines are exerting the minus I effect and further increases the acidic strength. Thus the pKa decreases from 2.86 to 1.25. After that I am taking 3 chlorine here at the alpha position, and because of the minus I effect of this 3 chlorine, it further decreases, the pKa value further decreases to 0.65. A very strong acid, because the pKa value is below 1. Very strong acid. Here in this example, what I am doing, I am varying the position of the halogen atom, because we know that with increasing distance of the group, the inductive effect diminishes, and that is also reflected in the pKa values also. When the chlorine was just next to the carboxyl group, that is at the alpha position, the pKa value was 2.84, because from this position it can withdraw more electron density, it can make the OH bond more polar. Now next we put the chlorine at the beta position, one carbon atom more in between this chlorine containing carbon and the carboxyl group. So the value is not that much increased, the pKa value, it is 4.06. that is the acid strength is decreasing because the distance of chlorine is also increasing. And then we put the chlorine at the gamma position far away from the carboxyl group, so its inductive effect is not that much prominent, and you can compare these two. Though I have put a electron withdrawing group, but still there is not much difference in the acidic strength because this halogen atom is far away from the COH group. So inductive effect diminishes with distance, that can be reflected from the pKa value, experimentally obtained pKa values also. Now in this example we are comparing actually two different classes of compounds. Okay, one is the phenol system, another is the carboxylic acid system, and phenol experimentally obtained pKa value is 9.95, whereas for acetic acid it is 4.76. so experimentally it is clear that acetic acid is much stronger acid than phenol. Now how can we explain it? So if you take the conjugate base of phenol, it is phenoxide, O minus, because this OH bond is the polar bond, this hydrogen is the acidic hydrogen. Now if you see the resonance of this phenoxide ion, it will look like this. Here you have the minus charge, and then it continues in conjugation process, you get this one. After this come this fourth structure, and then comes the fifth one, right? So we have 5 different resonating structures for the phenoxide ion, that is the conjugate base of phenol. Whereas if you take the conjugate base of acetic acid, that is the acetate ion, there are only 2 resonating structures. So apparently it looks that phenoxide ion is more stable than acetate ion, so phenol should be more acidic than acetic acid, but experimental result is just the reverse. Why? So now you have to recall the rules of resonance, how we compare the stability of resonating structure. In these 5 resonating structures, they are not equivalent structure, But for acetate ion, there are only two structures, but all these two structures are equivalent, exactly identical, equivalent to each other. And we know that any compound which undergo resonance, if all the resonating structures are equivalent to each other, it becomes highly stable. So instead of getting 5 different resonating structures for phenol, actually it is the acetate ion that is the more stable ion compared to phenoxide ion, because here all the resonating structures are equivalent, here all the resonating structures are not equivalent, because you can see in these two resonating structures the minus charge is at ortho position, whereas in this structure the minus charge is at para position. In these two structures oxygens are negative, so they are not equivalent, but these two structures are exactly equivalent, one oxygen negative, one oxygen double bonded, and the remaining part remains the same. So equivalent resonating structure gives you more stable, more resonance stabilization, and hence is the result. Now here I have taken some substituted phenols. Okay, phenol, they are mainly phenol compound having some substituents, and we will see how the acidic strength varies. So normal phenol, the obtained pKa value is 9.95. Okay. Now as soon as we introduce one methyl group at the ortho position, this methyl will exert plus I effect as well as hyperconjugation. So because of plus I effect and hyperconjugation, it will, both are electron donating effect, so because of this the acidic strength will decrease, that means pKa increase from 9.95 to 10.28. Now here we are putting two methyl groups, both at ortho position. So both this methyl group will show plus I as well as hyperconjugation. So the acetic acid further decreases, and thus the pKa value further increases to 10.60. However, in compound number 4, you can see at para position it is a nitro substituent. So nitro at para position, it will exert minus I effect as well as minus R effect. So highly electron withdrawing, because both the effects are withdrawing electron density. As a result, the acidic strength suddenly increases from 9.95 to 7.15. A significant increase in the acidic strength or significant decrease in the pKa value. Now come to 5. So when we compare 4 and 5, both are paranitrophenol, but here at the ortho positions with respect to the phenol OH group, we have two methyl group. These two methyl group are exerting plus I as well as hyperconjugation, and this NO2 is exerting minus R minus I. So the net result is, it is a stronger acid than phenol because of this strong electron withdrawing effect of this NO2 group. However, it is less acidic than compound 4, because in compound 4 there was no donating effect, but here we have a little bit of donating effect also, and hence a little increase from 7.15 to 7.22. That means the acidic strength decreases a little bit. Now come to compound number 5. In compound number 5, there is no nitro group, only two methyl group. So again we have the plus I effect for both of them, but these two methyl groups are at meta position. So from meta position, methyl group cannot exert hyperconjugation. So when we compare these two isomeric 3 and 5, both are isomer to each other, but here since they are at ortho position, they will exert both plus I effect and hyperconjugation, but here only plus I effect. That's why here the electron donating effect a little bit less than compound 3, so it is a little bit more acidic, that is the pKa value a little bit less than this compound. Now come to compound number 6, very important. Here the two methyl groups are at ortho position with respect to nitro group. This nitro group is a bulky group, nitrogen and 2 oxygen, this is a bulky group. So what happens, since these two methyl groups are at ortho position, they are in close proximity with this NO2 group. These two methyl group actually compel this nitro group to go out of plane. Benzene is a planar molecule. These two methyl group, they are coming in steric interaction with this NO2 group. These two methyl group show some steric interaction with this bulky NO2 group. As a result, this NO2 go out of plane. As soon as it go out of plane, now it cannot exert the minus R effect to that extent like here. Here the NO2 is at the same plane of the benzene ring, so it is a very prominent minus R effect. But here the planarity is somehow disturbed because of these two orthomethyl substituent, and as a result the minus R effect becomes weaker. So here this NO2 group is not that strong electron withdrawing compared to compound number 4. Here the minus R effect is very strong, here minus R effect is weak. In addition to that, there is plus I effect of this methyl groups also. So when we compare compound number 4 and 6, it is very clear that there is a significant increase in the pKa value from 7.15 to 8.25. This is not only because of the inductive effect, because you have seen, if it is only inductive effect, there is not much increase. So to explain the significant increase in the pKa value, we have to consider both the inductive effect as well as the steric interaction between the methyl and the nitro group. Now you all know hydrogen bonding, right? This is one type of supramolecular interaction, that is a non-covalent type of interaction, okay? And this hydrogen bonding can also affect the acidic strength. For example, if we take only phenol, the pKa value is 9.95, and then we have three isomeric substituted phenol, that is metanitrophenol, orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol, and these are the experimentally obtained pKa values. So clearly in metanitrophenol, since the nitro group is at meta position with respect to the phenol, with respect to the OH group, it will exert only minus I effect, not minus R effect. From meta position, the minus R effect, the resonance effect, will not be reflected at this carbon. It cannot make this carbon as a positive carbon. However, from ortho and para position, here both minus I effect and minus R effect will operate, minus I as well as minus R. So clearly ortho and paranitроphenols, both of them will be more acidic than the metanitrophenol, and it is experimentally observed also, because it is 8.35 whereas they are 7.23 and 7.15. So that part is clear. Now when we compare these two, here the minus I effect should be stronger than the minus I effect here, because here nitro is far away from the OH group, whereas here the nitro group is very close to the OH group, and we know inductive effect diminishes with increasing distance. So here the minus I effect is stronger than the minus I effect here. So we expect that here this orthonitrophenol should be more acidic than the paranitrophenol. But experimental observation shows that paranitrophenol is more acidic than orthonitrophenol. Now how can we explain it? We can explain it in terms of hydrogen bonding. When we take orthonitrophenol, we are actually seeing how easily this hydrogen can be liberated as H+. So when you are taking orthonitrophenol, this is the structure of orthonitrophenol. This O minus and this hydrogen, they are in close proximity. Since this nitro group is at ortho position, this hydrogen and this O minus, they are very close to each other. Intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Because of this intramolecular hydrogen bonding, it becomes difficult to release this hydrogen as H+. Compared to paranitrophenol, because in paranitrophenol this nitro group is far away from the OH group, so there is no chance of hydrogen bond formation, because hydrogen bond can be formed only if in close proximity of this hydrogen you can find some highly electronegative atom. So because of this hydrogen bonding, the elimination of this hydrogen as H+ is a little bit difficult only than the paranitrophenol, and hence though a very little difference, but even this little difference of pKa value, that is of acidic strength, can be explained in terms of hydrogen bonding. So after all this discussion, I hope now if some aliphatic carboxylic acid or some other carbon or some other organic compound, if it is given to you, you can somehow determine that which one will be more acidic, which one will be less acidic, okay? Don't be afraid that you need to remember the pKa values. Absolutely not. You will be never asked what is the pKa value. You don't need to remember, they are all literature value. What you have to determine that which one will be stronger, which one will be weaker. That is one point. Now the thing is, I have not discussed substituted benzoic acid. That is, if you have a benzoic acid COOH and if I put substituent, okay, at different positions. Then how these substituents will affect the acidic strength of different benzoic acid, that is a big thing. So we will discuss that part in our next video. That means the comparison of acidic strength will be continued in our next video also, and we will see another effect, that is effect of aromaticity. Aromaticity many times increases the acidic strength of any hydrogen in an organic compound by many folds. So these two effects we will discuss. In benzoic acid, one new term we will encounter, that is ortho effect. This is a very important thing. So using ortho effect, we will try to determine the acidic strength of different substituted benzoic acid, and we will see how aromaticity can regulate the acidic strength of different organic compound. Thank you for viewing the video, and I say again that if you are finding these lessons useful, then please do like, comment in the comment section below, and share and subscribe. Thank you.